Taurus.
Hello Taurus, this is your forecast for July 2015, and I am sure that most of you at least, really enjoyed what June brought to you. It gave you the ability and the chance to really focus on those things that were so meaningful to you emotionally, and also it gave you the ability to kind of work over your finances and so forth. However, now this month, it's going to be a month more so, I'd like to say, of communication, where the focus is going to be on those things that are essential to you, where you want to nurture those around you that you love, and also it's going to give a lot of focus more on you and how you are nurtured as well. We have the Sun, New Moon, and Mars here in this third area of your chart, which has to do with short distance travel as well as communication. So many of you are going to see that you're going to be hitting the road, maybe just for these short trips, not necessarily long distance, even though some of you Taurians will do so as well, because we have your full moon here in the ninth house for foreign places and people. And in fact, speaking about full moons here, Taurus, we have two of them showing up here this month. We have one on July 1st, and that will be in that ninth house of higher education, philosophy, the way you think as far as your spirituality, but it's also those far distant places. Now, the ninth house could also be about publishing for those of you wanting to either publish an ebook or actually get in touch with an agent that can help you publish. The second full moon will be in the career sector for you, which will fall in there on the 31st of July. So you will come to see that this whole area is going to illuminate what it is you've been working towards, as the full moons always show the accomplishment of last month's focus and energy. And if you did well there, it should bring something really exciting for you here on these full moons. Now, the new moon is 15th of July. This will be in the area of your siblings or your neighbors, the community close here to you. And since it's the area of communication, you might just see what it is you are communicating, how you share it, how you take in communication. Are you listening to people around you, or are you just monologuing? That kind of thing will become very evident here on this new moon. And it's also the time to put down your intentions for not just this month or coming month, but for the entire year. It's all about, how do I communicate, and do I communicate well enough, or do I not? Can I change this up? Should I pay more attention to it? So that should be the focus of this new moon intention, but it's also the time of the month to write that abundance check to yourself as well. So let's move on into the month. It is starting off, as the headline says, the month is starting off with a kiss. And that is because Venus and Jupiter, they are conjunct, meaning that they're traveling side by side there in the heavens. And Venus rules love, romance, also money though. And since Jupiter is touching upon it, Jupiter will expand the energy of Venus. So there's abundance, there's generosity, there's optimism, hope, that kind of thing. And so we definitely want to circle this on our calendar. And also here on the 1st also, we have the Sun and Neptune trining one another. Now, Neptune is your hopes, your dreams, the visions that you've been holding. Now, the Sun is you. So when they're in this glorious aspect of a trine, well, this too will surface. So maybe Jupiter is going to bring that dream that you've been holding for so long into manifestation. Now, Neptune for you is in that 11th house, which actually holds the area of hopes and dreams, right? And so it coming here in with the Sun, that is what's being communicated and shared. And along with that, Venus and Jupiter in your 4th house, the foundation of your life. It's what you have worked for. It's you in the past. It's family members. This is where these blessings are going to fall in on the 1st, and then lo and behold, the 2nd through the 5th. Mercury is very predominant here, and Mercury communicates, and it's touching upon Uranus, Jupiter, and Venus both. So what communications are you going to be broadcasting? It is about all this joy that's taking place in the family. Some of you might tie the knot, others might get engaged, or it may be looking for a new house, because the 4th house is also about property, real estate, where you live, how you live. Some of you might have the good news of upgrading, getting that new kitchen, or whatever it may be for you. But there's a lot of talk about this, and it's happy talk. So this whole first week is absolutely a blessing here in July. Then we have a decision coming up here on the 6th. This is the Sun and Pluto, which is in the same areas, the 3rd and the 9th house. So it's what you communicate, what you take in, these changes. Pluto transforms. So this transformation may now start circulating within consciousness and how you think due to all the good news changes that has just come in. So it's all about embedding it, moving forward with it here as Mars on the 8th. Mars being your drive, goals, ambitions, physical energy is now lining up with that dream that Neptune has just revealed to you what is. So I see you really busy and out and about doing errands to and fro to line up all of these things that are needed to take place. Some of you might be speaking a whole lot with service people, especially if it has to do with how you're revamping your home, for example. So here on the 10th, Mercury is communicating a whole lot about these dreams and keeping you busy. And then we're also looking to the money factor. Where's money going? Where is it coming in from? Mercury's still there in your 2nd house for money and income. And that's where a lot of your focus was there in June, in fact. So you're kind of wrapping that up. We do have Mercury now picking up speed, where it's going to move out of this sector for now. On the 13th, though, here's choices, and here's a little stress coming in after all that the happiness that's taken place the first third of the month, where we have the Sun and Uranus square. The Sun is you, Uranus is all about changes. Now there might be, I won't say necessarily a misunderstanding, but it could be that you want to go in one direction with something, and then here is the block you have to overcome, because Venus too here on the 14th is squaring up Saturn, so it's still influencing there on the 13th as well. And then we have Mars opposing Pluto on the 15th. So those 3 days, they're all kind of like intermeshing, should I say, on these 3 days, where there might just be a little feeling of you want to pull in a certain direction or make a choice, and then you have to really see, is this what your partner wants? You know, they might want something else. So a little bit of adjustment here on these days. Now, on the daily podcasts, we follow, for the most part, the moon, which we don't get to do here on the monthlies because the moon changes signs every 2 to 3 days. And as it travels, it kind of ricochets on all of these planets and gives us more dynamic insight of how we feel. And this is why do we follow the moon? Well, the moon rules our moods, okay? So more information can be found on the daily podcasts and how your reactions may be here on the 13th, 14th, and 15th, as well as the other dates, of course. So be sure to check up on that. And but this Mars-Pluto, Mars is energy, the physical energy. It's how you move forward and make your choices dynamically. Pluto is all about transformation. Now these two are between your 3rd and your 9th house. So communication, it could be travel, short distance, long distance. It could be a situation with somebody afar that you might have to balance and communicate with and sort things out. Mars is, like I always like to say, is dynamite and Pluto is nuclear. Okay, so when they're at odds like this, it might just bring up some reactions to the forefront. So if you're feeling that you are a little bit off, or you're edgy, or needing to express, you might feel frustration coming up. Now, some of this could also deal with some old stuff. Perhaps especially in the areas if something feels unjust to you, because the ninth house has all to do with fairness and justice and so forth. So if you're feeling that something needs to be vented, you will come to see that that will take place here around these days. But on the 21st, here Taurus, the Sun and Saturn, well, they're beautifully balanced. The Sun here, again, still in this third house. Actually, it's just wanting to start moving into the fourth house area, but it's still there, and it is trending up towards your partner, Saturn, in that seventh house. So you may come to feel that there is a lot of good support from your partner, that there is security, there's strength, the feeling that you could lean upon this partner, and perhaps you might just feel the opposite, that your partner's feeling really now content and safe with you leaning upon you and your judgment there. So really nice. On the 25th, Mars here, whatever took place there up in between the 13th and the 15th, well, it's kind of looking at wanting to take something a step further. You know, you might have had like a truce, or where things are just laying low for a little bit. And but I'm seeing here today is when you're feeling you'd like to kick into action, or you want to put something to rest, okay? Something, if it's still there. Uranus can be a little difficult at times, and it rules earthquakes like Pluto rules volcanoes. So if we're just looking at a global scale, especially with the earthquakes here in Nepal, well, this wouldn't be like a good time for the earth itself, whether it, earthquakes can hit anywhere. But this is like more on a personal level, where we're seeing that we might just feel that we're up against a little bit of quakiness here on the 25th. But it's all good. You do have here now the second full moon coming up at the end, which should be in a very beautiful place for you and your career, Taurus. And we know that career is really important to you, how you build it structurally and so forth. And I'm feeling there could be some new concepts, new ideas coming in. So pay attention to those. It's all that Aquarian energy that you have here in this area that you might just now feel can be not just illuminated, but brought up to the surface. So that's exciting. We've had a wonderful month there in June. I'd love for you to listen to your partner's chart this month to see where all this good news is coming in for him or her. And of course, then your moon and rising sign to also see where all this glorious energy of Venus and Jupiter is going to affect other areas of your chart. And I'll see you next month, Taurus. Have a good one now.